Hi everyone, it's Abbey here again from TV4Education, and I am back with another YouTube Live showing you some of the resources that we have on TV4Education on a particular subject, and today's subject is the Great Depression. So if you're a teacher and you think that this subject would benefit you and your students, make sure to stick around so I can show you some of the TV4Ed, YouTube and Smart Lessons content that we have available for you and your school. So I'll take you to my screen and we'll go from there. So as always, we start on the TV4Ed home screen. As always, you can do a subject search here by clicking the Subjects tab, going to HAS, going to History, and then clicking whichever one is relevant to you. And once you do that, it will bring up all the relevant content. But if you want to be more specific, you can, of course, search in the Smart Search bar, which is what we're going to do today because we specifically want content on the Great Depression. So if we do a Smart Search, you see I've got Smart Search ticked here. It will search the title, the description, as well as the tags. And if I do a title search, it will just search the title. So we'll do a Smart Search first, and I'll just type in Great Depression. And you can see what comes up. Everything at the top is the newer content, and then as you go down, it becomes not as current. So one of the first resources that pops up here is Further Back in Time for Dinner, and this episode is on the 1930s, so it tackles the Great Depression. This and Back in Time for Dinner are quite popular ABC series amongst teachers, so if you think that this would be relevant to your students to see what it was like to live in the 1930s and during the Great Depression, you can add it to your items and go from there. You can also see Australia, The Story of Us, which is another popular series amongst teachers. And you can see here, you can see in the description that it deals with the Great Depression, this specific episode, which is episode 5. You can see these episodes here, Australia in Colour, and as well as America in Colour, which once again are popular series. And you can see in the description that they are set in the 1930s and during the Great Depression. You can see here the Great Depression, which is a series that is purely on that, so it's not just one episode, the whole series is on the Great Depression. And then you can see more and more, you can see The Years That Made Us, which is another series, as well as the Dust Bowl, which was a particular area that was affected by the Great Depression in America. So if you're specifically after the Dust Bowl, you can use this episode. You Turn Back Time, The Family, and so on. You can see we've also got some podcasts here as well if you want your students to have access to some audio content. You can also do a title search. So I'll click title and you see everything that comes up. It's only got the Great Depression in the title. So that's sort of better if you're maybe searching for a particular series. So I'll search for Back in Time for Dinner, which is one of the series that came up. So you can see Further Back in Time for Dinner as well as Back in Time for Dinner are the only ones that are going to be coming up. So if you want to see some of the other episodes that are available in this series, this is a great way to go about it. If you liked the one on the Great Depression and you're going to be learning about the World Wars or so on in another area of your class, you can use those episodes as well. So you can also look for Australia, The Story of Us, let's say. And it will come up with all of those episodes as well in the series that we have. Same with things like Australia in Colour and America in Colour and so on. And you can go through and add them to your items as you see fit. And let's say you're just looking for content on the Dust Bowl. That's the specific area of the Great Depression that you are studying right now. You can type that in and you can see all of the content that is coming up is directly related to the Dust Bowl. So you can see the Dust Bowl series as well. And you can also see When Weather Changed History, which is another popular series amongst history and geography teachers as well. So we'll now go on to some YouTube content. So you don't need to go back to the home screen. You can just go to the tabs over here and you can click YouTube and you can see I've got this typed in so it comes up. So you can see that there is a crash course history episode here, which is a quite popular YouTube series amongst teachers. So you add that to your My Items the same way you add any TV4Ed content. You just hit the little star. So you can see there's some history brief episodes here, which is quite another popular series on YouTube. You can see that there's a TED video here, 5-minute history. So there's a lot of content that is quite popular amongst teachers available on YouTube, and you can scroll through and add it to your items the same way you would any TV4Ed content. So you can do the same thing with anything else. So we could type in Dust Bowl again, and you can see what comes up. You can see this is all directly related to the Dust Bowl. You can see there's some NBC News Learn. There's some documentaries on YouTube. So you can also look up, let's say, we've got the stock market crash of the 1920s. So you can see there's some more content available on that. So you can search whatever you want and see what's available on YouTube. You can also search for a specific video. If you've found something outside of TV4Ed on YouTube, you can copy and paste the title into here, and then you can find it on TV4Ed and add it to your items on TV4Ed that way. So now that we've gone through YouTube, we will now go to the smart lessons. So we don't need to go back to home screen once again. We just click lessons. We can see what comes up. So you can see we've got two smart lessons on the Great Depression here. You've got a resource list here. This has got a blue cover, which means it's resource list. This one here has a green cover, which means it is a video lesson. So you can see this one is specifically on the Great Depression in Australia. And it's just a resource list, so it would just contain videos like TV4Ed, maybe YouTube videos, and sometimes they can also contain links to articles, PDF files, things like that. So you can add it to your My Library by just clicking Add to My Library, and then you can go to your My Items later and you can see all of the content that is in the lesson, as well as you can edit it if you want. You can add your own content, add questions, take away some of the content that's there, whatever you want to do. You can also make your own lessons from scratch. You can go up to the menu, you can go to Smart Classrooms and then go Create Lesson if you want to make your own resource lists or video lessons from scratch. And you can also request them with us as well by going down to Mailbox. Once you're in Mailbox, you go to TV4Ed Requests, then you go to Create a Request, and then you go to Topic Request. And you can just request that we send you some TV4Ed videos or YouTube videos, or you can specifically request we make a resource list or a video lesson or whatever it is that you are after. So you can see we have another video lesson here. This one is specifically on one video. So usually our video lessons will have 3 to 5 videos and then questions that relate to those videos. But you can see that this one in particular is just on one particular video. So it's the Crash Course History video that we saw before when we were searching through YouTube. And then just all the questions relating to that specific video. So you can see in the description the year levels that it relates to, as well as the subjects, and you can see the curriculum codes as well. So you can match those up with the curriculum codes that you are currently teaching. So now that we have added those to our library, I will now go to the My Items and I will show you some of the content that is available in them. So you can see the 2 lessons that I just added here. So we'll click on the Great Depression in Australia. So you can see this is just a resource list. So you can see the TV4Ed videos that are available here. You can see Australia, the Story of Us, The Years That Made Us, and Australia in Colour, which is all content that we saw when we were searching through ourselves. You can also see here's some hyperlinks. You can see My Place, and you can see a PDF file here as well. So you can edit them once you've added it to your My Items. So you can click Edit, and you can edit the title and the description if you would like. You can click Edit on the videos themselves, so you can change the title or you can add a hint. So maybe it could just be something like, please watch before class on Wednesday, or something like that. And then you can also add your own resources. So if you wanted to add one of the resources that we saw before, let's say that you wanted to add this episode, Further Back in Time for Dinner, you just type in and then you can click Add to Lesson. And because we're in the TV4Ed tab here, it's only going to search TV4Ed content. If you're wanting to search YouTube content, let's say you're wanting to add that Crash Course History video that we saw earlier, you need to click on YouTube, and then you would type in Crash Course History, Great Depression, or whatever the video was called. You can also upload your own files by clicking here. If you've got some PDF files maybe that you want to upload, and you can also post links to URLs here for your students, and you can also write out your own text here if you would like as well. And then you can also add your own questions if you would like by clicking here. You can add a multiple choice, a yes or no, or a missing word, whatever it is that you want to do. You can also change the order of the videos of the resources by clicking these up and down arrows, and you can also delete the resources, whatever it is that you want to do. So now we can have a look at the other smart lesson that we added. So you can see this one here was the video lesson on the Crash Course History video. So you can see the Crash Course History video here, and then all of the questions here relate to that. So just like with the other one, you can change the order of these questions, you can delete the questions, you can edit them, same with the title and the description, whatever it is you want to do. So you can see that this one has a different question. So we've got the true and false questions, we've got the multiple choice questions here, and then you can see we've got missing word questions here. So the students would go through, they would click true or false. If it's a multiple choice question, they click whatever answer is accurate, or they click multiple if that applies. And then with the missing word questions, they just type the missing word in here. And they all relate to the video, so if you're playing the video in class or they're watching it at home and they're paying attention as they should be, they'll be able to answer all those questions. So that is all the content I have to show you on the Great Depression today. I hope you found it informative, and if you have any requests for any subjects you would like me to cover in further YouTube lives, make sure that you comment below and I'll add it to my list and get to it as soon as I can. So I will see you later on in the week for another YouTube live, and I hope everyone has a good day, and I'll see you then. Bye everyone.